I noticed at the beginning you mentioned I'm not good at exams. I don't know how to read the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing you need to learn, how to read a question.
Mm.
So there is nothing called read a question. You have to be active reader. You have to have a pencil and underline keywords. That is how we teach it. So if you have a question that is like, let's say 2-3 lines in primary school, and you have keywords, these are the important data that is given in the question, and then at the end the question is asking you to do something, right? We call that the destination. You have to circle it. So your brain is actually directed to that destination. Let's say a question asking blah 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 blah, find the area of this shape. So you circle the word area. Do you know how many students go and find perimeter instead?
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Not because they don't know how to find area, they just did not read that word, right? Or they read it without digesting it.
Because the problem is you're under the pump.
Exactly.
You're stressed.
And that's the cognitive load I'm talking
You've
about.
got 1.5 hours to complete this. You're stressed. You've got 3 exams later this week.
Yes.
You're worrying about all the stuff. You're sharpening your pencil, whatever it is. You're looking at all the other people who are doing it faster than you.
Exactly.
And so you're stressed. You're in this height. You've got to slow down.
Yeah, because our brain does not function to its maximum under exam conditions because of the stress, because of the too much cognitive load, right? So if you are trained to do this, so understand the question. Take your time, understand the question. You don't have to be slow. You just need to be wise how to do it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's first stage. You get the information that is given. Sometimes there is redundant information you have to ignore, but you need to identify that. And that's the critical thinking.
Identify it as redundant.
As redundant. I don't need it. Why are they giving me the height of a fence if I need to find the area of I'm fencing, right? So you have to identify that. So you write redundant, right? And then you don't go and solve it straight away. You actually need to have a plan. And I always give this analogy. So let's say you want to go somewhere, right? So I came today to your studio, right? I needed the address. That's the first thing I needed. Not to know how to get here. I need the address, right? So that's my destination. You put that in the GPS. You're lucky this generation, you just put it in the GPS.
Yeah, no maps.
My generation, we used to look at the street directory, draw a map, and then decide how to get there, right? So first step, understand where you're going, right? Second step, draw a map, how to get there. So GPS give you few routes. So
tolls or no tolls?
Exactly. So they give you the routes. You choose one of them, right? Based on the information that is given. Then you decide, how do I get there now? It's near the train station and I can walk to the train station next to my place. I can get the train. Or maybe I can just hop in my car and drive there. Or maybe it's too close. I'll just bike or walk. So the vehicle is your solution. So you decide on the destination first, then the map, then the vehicle. How do I get there? While when we look at students, how they are taught at school, the first time they read a question, they see 3 numbers and then they panic. What do I do with them? What do I do with them, miss? Do I add them, multiply, or divide them? That's thinking vehicle first.
What's
instead
the vehicle?
of exactly. The vehicle is your operations in mathematics or equations on how to solve it. But then once you solved it, at school, what they do, next question, what we do at Global Education Academy, what did I learn from this? So that's your learning step.
And this is a huge part of my life now. Every time I do something, I do a reflection.
Exactly, reflection.
I'll journal it.
Exactly.
I was never taught this. I had to figure this out all on my own. If I do a presentation, I quickly shoot a video, record myself. What worked, what didn't.
Exactly.
Get it while it's fresh in my brain.
Exactly. So that's the fourth step, which is the building the schemas. So I know it's a mathematical term. It comes from a Greek word that means map or shape, right? So once you understand, plan, solve, learn means you are building a schema in your brain, how to get there again.
And you're solidifying it.
Exactly. And how do I get there again? Now I learned the schema, how to find the area of this shape, right? What did I learn here? I built something in my brain. Next time I see similar question, I'm going to do it faster. I'm going to do it in a more automated way because I learned something from this question. So if you look at our books, you will see every question there is made to learn a schema from it. Not just for the sake of solving questions. You can download from the internet unlimited amount of questions, right? Whether it's reading comprehension or mathematics or whatever.
That's what exams are. Exams are solving questions, not learning.
Exactly.
And that's why we memorize all these all these different stuff, all these essays and stuff.
I never memorized any formula in mathematics.
We had to memorize essays at our school. We would memorize essays and just adapt them. They would train us to put a battery on your pen so it felt heavier and just go out and just write essays.
Wow.
And then until you had that core essay memorized, then you'd go in and just slightly adapt it to the question.
Wow.
I think it's changed in the past few years. But it was literally
still,
memorizing, dumping it out, and then forgetting everything as soon as the exam was over.
Exactly.
You're never actually learning anything.
Yeah, and that's what is missing from our education system. No one is ticking the boxes for learning. The system is ticking boxes for teaching, and they are two completely different things.